And good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to today's episode of Law, News, and Laughter. In the news today, we have a fan of Knights of the Old Republic who is suing over the broken promises for downloadable content. We have judges in Michigan who have been ordered to respond to pronouns? Okay. I spent ages going through the 35-page document of the judge's decision in the Trump case in New York. I don't really want to talk about that today, mainly because I'm furious on both sides of that case. But in addition to that, we have new laws giving Australians the right to sue for privacy for the first time ever, because that generally wasn't actually a tort that you could sue for. A Missouri woman fights to prove that she is alive after the US government declare her dead. And UK officials seeking to deport an asylum seeker have apparently deported 3 other people in his place because they keep mistaking him for someone else. But let's get stuck into it, people. Welcome to Law, News, and Laughter. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, Glowy Stream Elements is running. It's mainly there to give out details about the upcoming stream goals and that sort of thing. It doesn't actually have any commands as of yet. I only really set it up like for a half hour before I went to sleep last night. But let's get stuck right into it, shall we? Fan... Oh, no, wrong one. Hang on. Fan who waited for Star Wars downloadable content sues over broken promises, as well they should. Look, Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2 are 2 of the best Star Wars games I have ever played. Knights of the Old Republic 2, I go back and play probably once every couple of years. The intro is not headphone friendly. Apologies. No, I haven't set up Nightbot. How about the first celebration in my lifetime of a premier's quitting? Good riddance. Yeah, we're going to talk about Jacinta, we're going to talk about Dan, and exactly what the hell happened there. Because for anyone that doesn't know, the Victorian Premier quit yesterday. So, after 9 years, Dan Andrews laid down the pen and has had Jacinta Allen put in place, who... I'm trying to think how long she's been... It doesn't matter. Point is, for anyone that's, it's like, say, DeSantis retiring from being governor. It's a reasonably big deal. The dead bitch that thinks she's alive is totally dead. It's gonna steal your credit card numbers and download your search history. Alright. A new gamer lawsuit rises 3 months after Aspire said it was abandoning promised DLC for the remaster of Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords on Switch. God damn it. Someone is suing the publisher for failing to make good on its original promise or to offer a refund when that was no longer possible. Oh, I'm sorry, people have pre-ordered it and they're not returning the refund? Okay. The class action suit was filed by Malachi Michelonius. Okay. Earlier this summer, and accuses Aspire of fake advertising. He apparently bought the game but never actually played it. The lawsuit alleges that he was waiting for the restored content DLC before starting the game on Switch. Knights of the Old Republic 2 came to the Nintendo handheld hybrid on June 8, 2022, with the studio promising to eventually add restored content as a DLC for the game down the road. Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know or hasn't played Knights of the Old Republic 2, there are a bunch of storylines and quest lines that you could not actually finish and progress. You knew that they were there because you would engage in certain conversations, take certain actions, whatever else, but the storyline in that particular thing would not progress. It always annoyed the hell out of me because I knew that there were people out there that modded it, but at the same time, I wanted the official storyline put back in, so I'm actually relatively angry about this. Originally brought to the PC version via mods, the restored content pack is essentially a fan-made director's cut of the beloved but much beleaguered 2004 Star Wars RPG. It'll drop in the third quarter in 2022, said the studio on several occasions. It did not. Instead, the studio announced back in June of this year that it was no longer moving forward with the DLC pack promised at launch. Now, let's be clear. That means that individuals that are playing the game on the Switch will not have access to the content at all because the Switch does not allow mods in the same fashion, is my understanding. I don't know. I didn't buy the game on Switch. Generally, that's the way that Nintendo works, though. If they offer DLC, it's official DLC. They don't... I'm pretty sure even Skyrim on Switch does not allow mods, which is, you know, kind of the point of Skyrim, but anyway. Where do we get to? Aspyr offered players free codes for the other remastered Star Wars games on Switch as an apology. The news came after reports the studio was struggling with its planned ground-up remake of the first Star Wars Knights of the Republic for PlayStation 5. Oh, what? They're going to cancel the remake as well? A year later, the Texas-based studio is probably in an even worse place as parent company Embracer begins to implode, laying off developers across the bloated portfolio of studios. The plaintiff, I'm not reading that name out again because I don't want to screw it up the second time, felt completely duped and was upset because he relied on the defendant's representations that the restored DLC would be released for KOTOR. The new lawsuit reads... Terrible grammar. Okay. In fact, the plaintiff did not even play it after purchasing it, instead choosing to wait until the restored content DLC was released. But defendants never did. The plaintiff would have potentially been interested in purchasing other games with restored content DLC from the defendants in the future if they had advertised the content. What? If the games... What? Interested in purchasing other games from the restored DLC from in the future if they have the advertised content, are not deceptively advertised and accordingly priced at a fair market value without being artificially inflated due to the deceptive advertising. The class action lawsuit means anyone else who bought the game can join in, though it's not clear who has or will. Knights of the Old Republic 2 was $20 US when it first came out on the Switch. It's currently on sale for $7.50. Yeah, look, class action lawsuit over a $20 piece of software, but still... Basically, what I think this is, he's trying to find a way to force them to continue with the development. Would be my genuine expectation there. Rumble Ghetto loves me. Thank you, Winter Soldier. Thank you to the 27 of you watching on YouTube and the 7 watching on Rumble. Much appreciated. It is a slow day, so trust the mods over Lucasfilms. Yeah, very much so. All right, we'll get to the Trump stuff in a bit. Let's do new laws will give Australians the right to sue for serious breaches of privacy. Children are to be given extra protection, but rejection of right for adults to opt out of targeted ads likely to disappoint consumer advocates. Interesting. It's not about the money, it's about sending a message. Absolutely. You do that one on principle absolutely every day of the week. Oh, come on. There we go. Australians will gain the right to sue for serious breaches of privacy under reforms that would require small businesses, to comply with privacy laws for the first time. Children will also gain extra privacy protection, but a broader right for adults to opt out of targeted advertising, recommended by the Attorney General's Department, has been rejected by the Albanese government, a decision likely to disappoint consumer rights advocates. Why the hell should I not be able to opt out of targeted advertising? It's bad enough that we still have telemarketers calling just at dinner time. If I'm sitting down to tuck into a juicy steak and mashed potatoes, I'm not getting up to answer the phone. It's just an annoyance. On Thursday, the Attorney General, Mark Dreyfus, will respond to his department's review of the Privacy Act, agreeing with 38 of its 116 recommendations, and agreeing in principle to 68 more, which will require further consultation before a final decision. The government intends to legislate the changes in 2024. Because, you know, of course, what... Don't play video games, I can drive 20 minutes and play GTA in real life. The government has merely noted, not accepted, 10 recommendations, including providing individuals with an unqualified opt-out of receiving targeted advertising, and the proposals to narrow the political exemption to the Privacy Act. I'm shocked that the... politicians have decided not to narrow down the exemption for them to have targeted advertising and other various... It's completely flown out of my head. The decision will leave people exposed to misleading tactics, including political parties or campaigns offering to facilitate postal votes in order to harvest their information, which the AEC has complained about during the Indigenous Voice referendum. Yep. We can't wait until next fall, sarcasm. A document summarising the government's response distributed by Dreyfus's office under embargo explained parties are exempt to encourage freedom of political communication and enhance the operation of electoral and political processes in Australia. I don't want the Libs or Labor knocking on my door asking me how I'm going to vote, or suggesting that they are the ones that fill it out and have me sign it. Not that I think they've potentially done that, although... like, we're going to post on Twitter that someone has advertised 100 crack pipes from Wish, then getting the same Wish ads in my email and on FaceSpace. All right. Under the government's plan, entities will be prohibited from targeting and directly marketing to children. Good. And trading in the personal information of children. I should friggin' well hope so. Labor has also agreed with the call for a children's online privacy code that recognises the best interests of the child when handling their personal information. It agreed in principle that entities should be prohibited from targeting individuals based on sensitive information such as race or sexual orientation, unless it's in a socially beneficial content. What? Oh, for fuck. Okay. All right. The government agreed in principle that the right to sue for invasions of privacy that are serious, preventing individuals from pursuing legal action over more trivial matters. But what's the delineation between serious invasion of privacy and trivial matters? I personally don't consider an invasion of my privacy to be a trivial matter in any circumstance. If anyone gets within my personal space or they invade, say, my emails, I do not consider that to be a trivial matter. This would allow people to seek compensation for serious misuse of private information or intrusion on seclusion, such as being filmed in circumstances where they would have a reasonable expectation of privacy. No more Bud Light ads for Nick. Plaintiffs would need to show the interest in privacy outweighs and countervailing public interest, meaning that public interest journalism may not be actionable. I should hope that it's not actionable. Tankrat, hello. Actually, did you drop a bunch of memberships while I was offline? I thought I saw something in Stream Elements. Let me know if you did, so I can give you a shout out. Cheers. Almost a year of watching a man from a country that doesn't exist. Joke, love your humor. Thank you, I appreciate that. Had a phone call with a friend about non-contact thermometer forehead scanners, and then got an arse load of ads for them. That sucks. And this is the thing, because what that shows is that our phones are listening when we have conversations. Wait, what? I'm okay. But based on what's showing up in my chat, I'm assuming someone dropped a whole bunch of new memberships. Either that or it's... yeah. Okay. I'd actually have to open YouTube. Hang on, give me a second. See, why do I never do that? Where are you? Content, your channel. Brief interlude, people. We'll get right back to it. I think that's why I turned Stream Elements off in the first place, because it started bombarding the chat with that sort of crap, and I had no idea how to fix it. But anyway. Oh, yeah, Tankrat dropping 20 memberships. Damn. Thank you. All right. You're a good bloke. Sorry, didn't mean to assume. You're a good person, Tankrat. I very much appreciate it. Wow. Okay. After a fierce backlash about the... hang on, what did I get to? Now... plaintiffs would need to show the interest of... yeah, got that. After a fierce backlash about the effect on reporting, journalism will remain exempt from the Privacy Act, and media organisations will remain exempt from provisions compelling companies to tell individuals what information they hold about them if requested. Media companies had complained that this could expose them to nuisance complaints or phishing expeditions designed to frustrate news gathering by subjects of public interest journalism. Take good bloke any day of the week? Lovely. But media organisations will need to keep information secure, destroy it when it is no longer needed, and report eligible data breaches to the offices of the Information Commissioner. Currently, small businesses with an annual turnover of $3 million or less are exempt from the Privacy Act and have no obligation to keep personal information secure or to notify affected individuals in the event of a data breach. The government agreed in principle to remove this exemption, although the department recommended that an impact analysis, transition period, and support package be provided first. So, she was using voice recognition on an iPhone and distributed targeted ads to both of us. Since my phone was connected to my Wi-Fi, somehow they linked my number to it. Oh, damn. That sucks. The government agreed to, in principle, to a proposal of a right to erasure, but criminals would not have the right to erase their records, and the right would not override laws requiring companies to retain identification documents. Okay, so we're moving a little bit more towards the EU-UK version of the right to erasure online. You can actually request certain people to make sure that it's your information is deleted. That was one of the things that I think was that Google and I think YouTube and Facebook were certainly getting into issues with. I do need to actually get more of a look into that, frankly. Hey, Jay, how are you? It also agreed in principle to the proposed limit of a right to request a search engine remove results from an internet search of a person's name, but not to remove public reporting. De-indexing may make content harder to find on the internet, but it will not remove the content at its source. There you go. Mike says, that's why I'm getting constant Baldo ads. Well, you watch Nick's show often enough, you're going to start getting ads. Exemption should not apply doubly to media outlets. I would disagree with that, Porcelain. I think that media outlets need to be exempt from issues with privacy because what they're effectively using it for, though, is to make sure that certain news outlets get raided, basically. And it just gives them another avenue for that, which I don't think is necessarily appropriate. I mean, the right to privacy, this is really the first time that it's sort of been enumerated. It's not really a tort that you can sue somebody over. I mean, there's nuisance, but privacy's always been a little bit up in the air. So I'll be interested to see exactly where this goes. Interestingly, for example, based on what I do, obviously I can't apply for a media credential, which I find very frustrating. Hey, if Ryan can get it for Montessori, why can't I get it to go to... Oh, which reminds me, there's a good chance I'm going to be going to a convention in November, so keep an eye out for that. I will be posting about that. All right. Now that I've just spewed a whole bunch of word vomit, let's go to the Missouri woman who fights to prove she's alive after the US government declared her dead. Madeline Michelle Carthen's life took an unexpected turn in 2007. She's seriously been fighting this since 2007. When she discovered that the US government had declared her deceased. And despite her numerous attempts to prove her existence, the 52-year-old resident continues to grapple with the bureaucratic nightmare that has plagued her life for over a decade and a half. Holy crap, woman, why are you not out there committing crimes? If you're dead, it's not like they're going to put a corpse into jail. I don't care what AI says or software says, I'm alive, she defiantly states, but proving it has proven to be a monumental challenge. The Dems need more dead voters. The saga began in 2007 when she was pursuing her education at Webster University. To her astonishment, she was denied financial aid, leading to a startling revelation. She'd been placed on the Death Master File, a Social Security Administration list that records the deaths of individuals connected to Social Security numbers. The baffling part is that she has no idea how her name ended up on that list in the first place. Madeline Michelle's predicament swiftly escalated beyond mere inconvenience. Her erroneous status in the Death Master File had repercussions that rippled through various government agencies that became unwitting participants in a bureaucratic maze. Well, it got worse because it wasn't creditors. Being in the Master Death File, it went to the IRS, it went to the Department of Homeland Security, it went to E-Verify, all of those things. It just started affecting my life, she said to the local news station KSDK. Wow. Nah, she did. Furfest? No, Animega. It's Melbourne's like anime convention. It'll be interesting. It's like comics, anime, and video gaming. So I don't think it'll be anywhere near as big as Matsuri, but I can't make it to PAX this year, so I was glad that I was able to find something that I can do. Because the next thing after that's is Supernova in April next year. So it's like a haunting, she describes the ordeal, which has plagued her adult life, thwarting her attempts to graduate from college, secure a mortgage, or even retain employment. It's just a matter of time before my social security number catches up with me, and then they have to let me go because HR can't process payroll. What the? In her relentless quest to assert her existence, she has sought assistance from a multitude of services, including 4 US presidents and various government officials. Wow, she couldn't even get Trump to declare her alive. That's a bit interesting. She even filed a federal lawsuit against the Social Security Administration in 2019, only to have it dismissed by the government due to sovereign immunity. It seemed that there is no end in sight for her ordeal. Despite the administration's claim that its records are highly accurate and less than 1/3 of 1% of death reports are subsequently corrected, her struggle for resolution continues unabated. I just want direct answers and I haven't been able to get that, she said with frustration. Interestingly, this isn't the first time an incident has occurred with the Social Security Administration. According to the agency's website, oh look, Stream Elements is working. Okay, I still need to fix that though. Punishment shit. How did Okay, I fucked that up. Okay, just to clarify, $100 does not equal $300. $300 is a double punishment shot, which is a mixture of whiskey and absinthe. For October, the aggregate chat reward is saying that if we hit the aggregate chat reward for next month, Little Lady Overlaw'd will be doing my makeup live on stream. So, if you want to see that, send them through, peeps. I'm still trying to come up with something for the $100 thing. I didn't actually realize I'd turned this one on, but might as well get the information out there as it is. So, okay. I just want direct answers and haven't been able to get that, she said with frustration. Interestingly, this isn't the first time it's had an incident, according to the agency's website. If one suspects they've been incorrectly marked as deceased in their Social Security record, they are advised to visit their local Social Security office with proper identification. After rectification, the Social Security Administration issues an erroneous death case third-person contact notice to be presented to banks, medical professionals, and others as evidence of the error. 4-day warning, this is happening. Yeah, no, it starts in October. So if we hit the aggregate goal between the 1st of October and the 31st of October, on the first weekend of November is when she'll be doing the makeup. Also, next month we have Sourced Saturday, which is starting. Yes, I'm blatantly ripping off Jeff. I don't care. That will also contain a Wall of Fame shout-out for any members that drop any chats over $100. And yes, I'm going hard because I need to learn how to grift properly, and I need to work out what pisses off people and what doesn't. So, yes, it was some very garbled nonsense. I will fix it up. Okay? Okay. I told you none of the commands work. Come on. First, I thought committing crimes was a silly idea, but maybe it would be a conversation starter. The bigger and the more public, the better. Quite possibly. What's the aggregate? I haven't actually worked that out yet, because when you take into account that people like Brandon show up, I was going to set it at like $1,000. But then if someone like Brandon shows up and he just wants to get me wasted on a particular day, that sort of blows it out of the water. I'll work it out. Like I said, I didn't realize that particular message was turned on. I will get back to you on that. As this baffling saga unfolds, she remains steadfast in her quest for justice and recognition as a living, breathing individual. As you do. Wait, was that a picture of your business? It was too. Wow, how old is this news article? Woman on trial for murder randomly attacks her own lawyer. Oh, it sucks that I missed the end of that sentencing. It really does. So this poor woman is apparently dead. Brief CS background is going to be looking for commands. Okay. Alright, moving on. So, for anyone that doesn't know, the supermarkets here now have these gates, and I did mention something about them earlier last week, but people have been not so happy about them, including one who has smashed the gates with a hammer. A furious customer has been filmed using a hammer to smash one of the new self-serve service gates at Woolworths. The video posted on social media on Tuesday showed a woman wearing black pants, a purple hoodie, and surgical face mask. See, the masks do come in handy for certain things. Approaching a self-service area with the supermarket holding a hammer. She strikes at the gate 3 times and flings a handful of flyers into the checkout. The photos show the flyers read "Smash the Gates." The footage was uploaded to X, formerly known as Twitter. Ugh. I hate that fucking sentence. And Facebook by the left-wing activist, whistleblowers, activists, and community alliance, Whacker. I'm confused as to how, like, it was great. Someone kept calling it shit business. I did see that. I saw the, damn it, Jay. I saw that the uncle was calling her shit business. I think that's hilarious. Probably known as da-da-da. Newsflash, Woolies customers don't want to be falsely imprisoned for your self-serve checkout, Whacker wrote on X. Isn't it enough to force people into self-service while Woolies and Coles have made exploitative profits? Some customers have taken the matter into their own hands today. Hashtag smash the gates. Again, not something that I would expect from left-wingers, but, you know. Woolworths and Coles have rolled out the new smart gates at self-service checkouts and other technologies in a bid to tackle a 20% increase in supermarket theft, which costs retailers $9 billion a year. How about you just work on, negotiating better prices with wholesalers and distributors? You mean X, formerly known as Twitter? Isn't that what I said? Or did I say Twitter, formerly known as X? Oh well, does not matter. The safety of our team members is our highest priority, and we're thankful no store member or customer was injured in the incident. There is no place for vandalism, and we're assisting police with inquiries. I'll bet you are. Victoria Police has been contacted for comment. According to Whacker, the hammer incident was filmed at Woolworths in Moorabbin in Melbourne's southeast. The gates have been part of a highly contentious revamp of security to prevent theft during a cost of living crisis, the group wrote on Facebook. Customers are held inside the shopping centre by locked gates until they can prove they've paid for their goods. English Commonwealth is a giant cuck. Australia should have remained a prison colony. I'm alright. I'm happy not being a prison colony. Okay, so according to this is not strictly accurate, although that is my understanding of it. With shoppers reporting they are able to leave the self-serve area through the gates without having to show receipts. So what's the point of the gates then? Because here's the thing. Okay, let's break this down, okay? If that means that the individual gates are on the basis of whether or not, say, an employee believes someone is going to attempt to steal something, no crime has been committed, and that is actual false imprisonment. There's a reason that supermarkets are not supposed to try and stop you from leaving the store, because until you do so, you have not committed a crime. This is legitimately false imprisonment. So if that means that it's a case of, having to show the receipt, that is still technically false imprisonment. What are they thinking here? This is not good. Until such time as you physically leave the store, you have not committed a crime. So you're locked into a shop once you enter? Apparently, yeah. Unlawful detainment for a product under $6. Yeah. The supermarket giants have reaped the benefits of high grocery prices, recording profits of $1.6 billion and $1.1 billion respectively last financial year. While people are struggling to put food on the table and take care of their families, Woolworths is paying their CEO upwards of $20,000 a day, Whacker wrote. Woolworths has also been accused of exploiting the public by significantly ramping up prices. Yes, and there's been numerous instances that I've seen where they are deliberately, just outright committing what I would consider to be fraudulent activity. So, you've all seen the special stickers that you see in the supermarket and that sort of thing. There's been recent instances where a special ticket is being put on something, and you have a look, and the price behind it is 25 to 50 cents cheaper than what is being advertised as it being on special. So, the gates at Wally World keep people from exiting out the entrance. Okay, if you've not already done so. Look at that, Chloe's being nice. If Braden drops the super chats, just divide it down a set amount. Brandon. Yeah, I suppose that's not a bad idea, actually. Okay. Woolworths has been accused of yeah, got that. The video received mixed results online. This is just abusive at creating a dangerous workplace for the lowest paid casual retail staff. Take your violent protest to the decision makers, not the casuals. See, here's the problem, though. No one is ever going to get anywhere near the corporate headquarters of Woolworths for a protest. Not a chance in hell. Hey, Flux, how you doing? Another said this is just vandalism, plain and simple. You're complaining about price gouging and think this is okay. You do realise we the customer pay for this behaviour. Also, if you don't like the security, shop somewhere else. Simple, they're doing this to stop thefts we all pay for. I disagree with that. Because as it stands, for the most part, I know it's not a true monopoly because there's multiple supermarkets, but Woolworths and Coles effectively have a duopoly over the supermarkets here in Australia. IGA is there. It's not really a viable option because as an independent grocer, a lot of their prices are higher, although it does mean that you're able to source certain things. Aldi, yes, fine, it's there. Like, the vast majority of people are still going to shop at Woolworths because of the quality of the products, because there's Australian-made brands in there, because it's what they grew up on, what they are used to. So, damn it, Stream Elements. I don't have time to turn it off right now. Oh well, screw it. Childish behaviour. It comes after Woolworths rolled out the artificial intelligence-powered cameras at hundreds of stores to monitor customers scanning items following a trial of the technology last year. Yeah, so not only are the gates there, they have a camera. So there's one at face level that scans your face to show who you are. Yes, we know who you are. We know when you're stealing. We're going to post your face all over social media and report it to the police or whatever else if you don't scan properly. But then there's a bar that comes up across the top, and there's a downward-facing camera like that as well. And it watches everything that you do. It's not theft until you've left the property. You can't assume every customer is a thief. Exactly. That's the issue that I have with this. Woolworths said the cameras help prevent mis-scans. If the camera detects any scanning errors, footage captured is relayed to the customer on the screen and gives them an opportunity to rescan. It's effectively like a teacher standing over you and saying, "Hey, I just saw you cheat. Fix it." What's next? Forcing people to take hats off when they enter stores and a dress code? Possibly. It helps reduce mis-scans and is one of a number of initiatives rolled out across our checkouts to make shopping more convenient and seamless. Yeah, while still raking in the same amount of profits, having less staff involved because you're not hiring checkout chicks, so all it is inflated profits at the expense of the community. I'm not happy with either Woolworths or Coles as a result of this. Most customers do the right thing at the self-serve checkouts. We're all busy and mistakes can easily happen. Coles, meanwhile, is rolling out new technology that will track shoppers' every move from the moment they enter the store. They're actually using cameras in the roof with AI to track everybody and their movements. If it's a self-serve checkout, I always mis-scan. Haha, they didn't train me on the system, so it's their fault. Hire humans to scan properly? Yeah, that would be the way to fix it. Scan it, you goddamn self-hire more people. It's bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, no, Lizbot, different Coles. That's one thing that I did notice in America. So here, our Coles is like your Maya. So ours is spelled Coles. Yeah, I don't think I need to dive too deeply into that. Overhead cameras, trolley locks, smart gates, and perhaps most bizarrely, fog machines will be introduced in a desperate bid to tackle rising theft. If you're a thief, we're going to catch you, said Chief Operating Officer Matt Swindles. Not until they've exited the store, because they haven't committed a crime. All of a sudden, these guys are trying to institute their own level of law. Another reason to shop on Amazon? Maybe. The move came after the retail giant announced that it would roll out body-worn cameras for staff after an alarming increase in violent behaviour towards workers. Oh my god. It's important to note the majority of customers do the right thing in stores. Measures like this are for the ones who don't. So why should everybody else be tarred by it? The safety of our team members and customers is our top priority, and we have a range of security measures in place to reduce theft from our stores, including security personnel and surveillance technology such as CCTV. Alarming figures from tech firm Sonder last month revealed that a 35% spike in police call-outs to stores including Woolworths and Big W's Big W, with assaults on retail workers emerging as the most common reason. Major retailers including Coles, Woolworths and Bunnings are increasingly turning to high-tech AI-powered solutions, including facial recognition and license plate scanning to crack down on retail crime. Last month, the founder of the controversial crime intelligence platform used by 40% of Australian retailers said that about $15 million a day was being stolen across the country, typically by organised crime groups. That's a crock of shit and you know it. You know full well that mum and dad are starving and they have to put food on the plate for the kids. And this cost of living crisis is bullshit. And it should be fixed. And it easily could. Time to go Philadelphia on Coles, not really just joking, FBI. 10% of people are causing 60% of the loss, said Aura Chief Executive Phil Thompson. The fact that these people are doing more than shoplifting, they're generally involved in gangs, guns, and drugs. They're doing... How do you link guns and drugs to shopping at a supermarket? They're doing this as their job. It's $1,000 at a time, not stealing some sausages or bread for dinner. Mr. Thompson said the repeat offenders were 4 times more likely to be violent and aggressive. They're using it as a tactic. In Australian supermarkets, we've seen tasers and broken bottles being brandished, box cutters and screwdrivers used to threaten because they know they'll be allowed to get out of the store. Consumer prices rose 6% in the 12 months to the June quarter, according to the ABS, down from a 7% annual rise in March. Annual inflation in food and non-alcoholic beverages remained high at 7.5%. So that's literally, that's near enough to 10%. So a $5 bottle of soft drink or soda, however you want to call it, last year is this year almost $5.50. Now, when you don't think that's a lot, but it adds up, particularly when people are on very fixed incomes. If you're on social security support, if you're on, hell, if you're working at one of these places and you're receiving a low wage. Is Coles a grocery store? Yes. No. Our version of Walmart's called Big W, which they mentioned in here. I felt violent when going grocery shopping. Honestly, what's funny is AOC and the like saying people have to steal to feed their family. This dude's saying the complete opposite. Yep. Oh, when I say $5.50 for a pop, I'm talking like a... shit, I don't know what the equivalent conversion is. The big bottles of soda. Knew a guy who got the staff at Walmart to help him load a TV that he just stolen. Price increases were the highest for dairy products, with 15% on and bread and cereal products at 11.6%, and other food products at 11.3%. Seriously, what's that? What was that? Operation Knock Over Oz grocery stores in full swing. I'm a fat guy. I'm considering going on a diet to save money. That's the point. At this point, we literally are going to have to. Yeah, a 2-liter bottle. So there's that. Look, I personally think this is some bullshit. Until such time as you have exited the store, you have not committed a crime. You should not be prejudged by that, and they should not be doing this. Not only that, I believe that it is against the law, in my own personal opinion. But I also think that they're just being sooks about it. It's not as if they aren't making billions of dollars in profit. So they don't really have my sympathy. All right, where are we? An ex-deputy is facing felony charges after being caught with more than 100 pounds of fentanyl and a gun. A former Riverside County Sheriff's Department correctional deputy, for fuck's sake. You could have just said a correctional deputy faces a series of local felony charges after he was allegedly caught with more than 100 pounds of fentanyl and a gun. Banning resident George Okagura Rocha, 25, was pulled over on September 17, and authorities allegedly found a gun and narcotics, according to the District Attorney's Office. The Sheriff's Department confirmed that he had been under investigation for playing a pivotal role in the trafficking of large quantities of narcotics within Riverside County while off duty. On Tuesday, the Sheriff's Department detailed that the drugs in question were fentanyl pills, of which he had 104 pounds. Holy shit. Federal prosecutors declined to file charges against him. I'm sorry, what now? What now? But they charged him with possession of narcotics. Federal prosecutors refused, but the Riverside County have charged him with possession of narcotics, transportation with the intent to distribute, weight enhancements for the narcotics, and possession of a firearm while in possession of narcotics. He's being held at the detention center in lieu of a $5 million bail. It's my God-given right as an American to spell things wrong, especially the metric system. Hey, you're fine with that. The RCSD said the large bail figure was based on the weight amount, danger to the public, and potential for him to flee from prosecution. If convicted of all charges, he will be sentenced to up to 10 years in jail. As at the time of the arrest, he was a deputy at the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility. Ooh, those prisoners are going to be pissed off because I guarantee he was part of their drug connection. Next court date is set for October 31. What's the point of saying $5 million bail? Just say no bail? Yeah. Pretty much where that probably should have gone, really. A 10-year-old boy is taking construction equipment for a ride through the Brookline neighborhood. In Pittsburgh, neighbors in the city's Brookline neighborhood were left with quite a mess after a stolen Bobcat construction vehicle caused significant damage to a number of cars and properties along Fordham Avenue on Monday evening. How the hell is this news? But it's still funny. Mount Lebanon officials say the 10-year-old boy was behind the wheel. The equipment appeared to have been taken from a nearby construction site more than 3 blocks away. Who's the dumbass that left the keys in the Bobcat? Doorbell camera footage from caught the heavy piece of equipment making its way down the avenue before heading up the hill and turning onto nearby Fordham Avenue. The boy was able to get the Bobcat a few blocks down on Fordham, taking out a number of vehicles and causing damage to some nearby properties. As soon as I heard the crash and I heard the beeping, I was like, I know it's my car, said Taylor Shea. Shea added, I just knew it. I didn't know it to be a Bobcat, though. Base 10-year-old? Yeah. Will I be on any debate streams tonight? Not likely, American Dreamer. I have to go and travel to my regional office, so whilst I'll be listening to certain streams, I won't really be able to make an appearance. So, Shay's vehicle had been sideswiped by the heavy piece of machinery. Her car is still drivable, and she's working with her insurance to get it repaired. Other neighbours weren't as lucky. One neighbour whose car was damaged has an estimated repair bill of more than $15,000. Killdozer Jr. Lucy Sullivan lives nearby and watched the whole thing unfold. She says she and her husband were shocked when they saw who was behind the wheel. I couldn't make out a face, but I did take a mental note that the person's driving did seem to be a little short. That's not nice. It could have just been a midget construction worker. Sullivan said before adding, they were wearing a hard hat with a headlamp, so it was quite bright, but you couldn't really see his face. It's unclear if any charges will be filed. Oh, come on, he's 10. He's below the age of criminal responsibility. They very much need to find out exactly who left the keys available, though. In the meantime, neighbours say that this stretch of neighbourhood is very busy, with many people exercising or walking their dogs and kids each night. They walk their kids each night, okay. All neighbours we spoke with said they're just glad no one, including the young driver, was injured. Alright. Tell me we've got the ring camera footage.
A huge piece of heavy machinery stolen from a nearby construction site being driven by a 10-year-old.
Please have the footage.
Taking it out for a joyride.
A Bobcat on the prowl was the talk of this usually quiet Brookline neighborhood after the piece of equipment was stolen from a nearby construction site.
He plowed over the fence and came up around this corner and hit my car first and then just smashed a bunch of other cars along the way. Said to be wearing a construction hat and goggles.
Taylor Shea's car was one of several heavily damaged along Fordham Avenue Monday night. She's now working with her insurance to get the damage fixed. But it's not such an easy situation.
A Bobcat is not a licensed vehicle. It makes it kind of tricky. And because he's 10 years old.
That's because the driver of the Bobcat that damaged her car was just 10 years old. Mount Lebanon officials confirming the age of the young boy to Pittsburgh's Action News 4 late Tuesday afternoon.
So I couldn't make out a face. I did take a mental note that the person driving it did seem a little bit short.
Lucy Sullivan lives nearby and watched the whole thing unfold. She first saw the machinery making its way down Castlegate Avenue. Doorbell camera footage from the street captured the Bobcat before it took out this stop sign.
I saw it turn on Fordham Avenue. So I ran home to attempt to move my car in time.
Thankfully, the driver and the machinery did not make it as far as Sullivan's car. As for Taylor Shea, she's taking the damage to her vehicle in stride, saying she's just glad no one was hurt.
Yeah, nobody was in their car, coming out of the car. Nobody was on the sidewalks or anything. So no harm, no foul.
Construction simulator.
Now, after the incident last
All right, I'm not going to keep playing that because let's face it, I don't really. Oh, actually, hang on.
night, Brookline, Mount Lebanon police, and Pittsburgh police were here investigating. We're told Mount Lebanon police are handling the investigation into how exactly that equipment was stolen and how that young boy was able to get access to the Bobcat. At this point, it's unclear if any charges will be filed. We reached out to Mount Lebanon police for an update this afternoon, but we did not hear back. Just as soon as we have any new details to bring you, we will do so both on air and online.
Oh, please do, so that I can do a follow-up on this, because that is freaking hilarious. Because you're right, it's Bob the Builder in real life. That's hilarious. The car looked pretty harmed. Yeah, but at least it was, it could have been worse. All right. I want to talk about this one, mainly because I want to get Mighty's opinion on this. Michigan judges have been ordered to honor pronouns of parties in court. That's right, it's a... Where's it going?
Gay!
In Detroit, the Michigan Supreme Court on Wednesday ordered all judges to address people in the court by the pronouns that they use or by other respectful means. We serve the entire public and we are required to treat those who come before us with civility and respect, said Justice Elizabeth Welch. The gender identity of a member of the public is part of their individual identity, regardless of whether others agree or approve. The statewide rule was approved 5-2. Some transgender, non-binary, and gender-fluid people, they use they, them, and their as their gender-neutral singular personal pronoun. I love that they actually had to specify that in this, as if it hasn't already been blasted international as to how this works. Like, courts must use the individual's name, the designated salutation, or personal pronouns, or other respectful means that is not inconsistent with the individual's designated salutation, or personal pronouns. So fuck it, just call them by their name that's on the court documents. During a public comment period earlier this year, some critics cited religious reasons for not wanting to address someone by a pronoun that they use. The rule, which kicks in on January 1, will still allow judges to avoid pronouns and refer to someone by their role in the case, such as, I should fucking well hope so. I'm sorry, what? They actually had to specify that you would still be able to call someone as an attorney or a plaintiff or a defendant or a respondent. Are you actually serious right now? The rule does not force anyone to violate their beliefs, Walsh said. Justices Brian Zara and David Viviano opposed the rule. This is a fluid political debate into which our judicial branch of the state government should not wade, let alone dive headfirst and claim to have resolved. That's a damn good point. In separation of powers between the legislative and the judicial. Such hubris has no place in the operation of the judicial branch of state government. Defendant and plaintiff not good enough. Yeah, apparently not. Courts have to follow the new Michigan law. Anything else is a $5,000, $25,000 fine. Repeat offenders get jail time. Damn. What ingredients in the solution are fluid? Oh, come on, Robert. Give me a break. I misspoke. So. Now, I want to know what the hell this is about. Mystery as nearly 50 school children go missing in Cleveland in September alone, while over 1,000 have vanished so far this year in an alarming trend that's left Ohio cops baffled. Is this a potential serial kidnapper? Is this just that kids want to get the fuck out of Ohio? What's going on? The number of missing and runaway kids in Ohio in 2023 is nearly double that of states with similar populations, sparking panic amongst parents and police who in some towns can't keep up with the number of teenagers running away. In this month alone, 45 children have been reported missing in the Cleveland area. They join the total number of 1,072 have been reported missing since the start of the year. While the majority have since returned home or been accounted for, cops say many are regular runaways who will likely vanish again. They say the rate of children going missing and running away in 2023 is unusually high. In 2022, Ohio had nearly double the number of runaways than states like Georgia, North Carolina, or Illinois, all of which have populations between 10 and 12 million. It's a nice little map showing all the different runaways in the different areas. Hang on, is this... What was this? Okay, so that's 2022. Okay. According to the Ohio Attorney General's office, there is now over 45 missing minors in the greater Cleveland area. All have been reported as missing since September 1. They join the total number of cases. Oh, I literally just read that. Why did they copy and paste that? While police say that most are likely runaways, they're struggling to keep up with the demand of anxious parents wanting to find their kids. Newborough Heights Police Chief John Majoy said earlier this year that cases of missing children between the ages of 12 and 17 remained unusually high. For some reason, in 2023, we've seen a lot more than we normally see, which is troubling in part because we don't know what's going on with some of these kids, whether they're being trafficked or whether they're involved in gang activity or drugs. Sharice Snowden, whose 15-year-old Kayshawn is missing, Kayshawn is missing, said yesterday at a community search for him, "It's been over 40 days without my child. I just want him back home. I miss my child every day. I am worried. I don't know if he's eating or sleeping. I just want him back home." Majoy told News 5 Cleveland, "There's just not enough police officers in the streets to do this kind of law enforcement. The public is our greatest asset. We can't do this without the public." Other missing children include 14-year-old Gideon Hefner, who was last seen on September 12 in the American Township, Ohio. According to the missing child report, he was wearing a dark-colored shirt, jeans, black beanie, and carrying a backpack at the time. Cameron Nicole Golias, 17, was last seen in Akron, Ohio, but it still remains missing. I think these are all the ones that they've shown the photos up here. Let me just double check. Yep, so Gideon and Cameron. So people, if anyone from Ohio is watching, these 4 are currently missing. If at any point you notice any of them, I would suggest you contact the authorities, okay? Oh, is this guy still missing? Oh, that's Kayshawn. Yeah, so he is also missing. Apologies. I shouldn't have skipped over that. Elijah Hill disappeared September 20 and hasn't been seen since. They all disappeared. So the 14, 16, so 4 of them all disappeared within 5 days of each other early in the month. A similar pattern started in May this year when as many as 27 children were reported missing in an area at the beginning of the month. Majoy emphasized that he has never seen such high numbers of missing children in his 33-year career. While Majoy claimed that it's likely the majority of the runaways, not abductions, he added the teenagers are naive when it comes to predators who could be the wolves in sheep's clothing. And unfortunately, most children do not make the news because there is usually no Amber Alert, he said, describing the cases as silent crimes happening right under our noses. There is a strict criteria for an Amber Alert. Police have to have a reasonable belief that there has been an abduction and that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. Ohio Attorney General David Yost said to News 5 Cleveland that inconsistencies often happen throughout the process, such as updating reports. They haven't specified who those 2 are, but I would assume they are also missing. Hide an AirTag in their backpack or jacket. See, the trouble with that, Porcelain Thunder, is that because people were using AirTags for stalking, they now notify people if you are near them. So if for example, if an iPhone is near an unidentified AirTag and it picks up the signal on the iPhone, it will identify and say, "Hey, there is an AirTag near you." Kind of defeats the purpose if you're trying to keep your kid from being kidnapped, because if the kidnapper has an iPhone, they're going to know that there's an AirTag and they're just going to toss it. Ohio has a huge opioid problem. Do they really? Okay. No, do not shoot first, ask questions later. All these things have localized reporting problems that, again, are a function of the local conditions. We do our best to encourage compliance and improve assistance to remove barriers, but at the end of the day, we have to rely on our local partners that we don't control. I'm fearful of all kinds of things that fall through the cracks that include missing children. Got 2 more that are missing, so damn. So yeah, something's going on in Ohio, and I already checked outside. There's no one skulking around the dome, so there's got to be someone somewhere. Cindy T, look forward to Law News and Laughter. Thank you for the streams at the end of the day. You're very welcome, Cindy, and I'm glad that people are enjoying the content. I really am. Fuck AirTags, make your own. I did. I'm going to assume that Mighty is in no way implying that he breached any sort of patents or anything like that, and he's just using his own GPS tracking system. Which I do not know if that is a crime, but either way, do not promote that on the internet, you moron. Did not know that. Thanks. Was thinking of getting a few for my luggage in case I should run into Sarah Boone. Fair enough. And some moron stole a vacuum full of hornets because he stole it from a beekeeper's truck. The person who stole a shop vac from a truck in Philadelphia's Frankfurt neighborhood could be in for quite the surprise. Don Shump, who owns the truck and the vacuum, said that there are hundreds of hornets inside of it. Whoever it was that grabbed this shop vac grabbed this shop vac that was filled with several hundred hornets, and not just the workers, they had a preponderance of queens. We do removals of anything from flies to stings. I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a puff beast. His company relocates honeybees and bumblebees and will often use them to make honey to sell in the Philadelphia area. For hornets and wasps, they typically freeze and study them. Last Thursday, the beekeeper siphoned hundreds of hornets into the shop vac while on a job in Malvern. Shump put the shop vac in the bed of his truck and made the drive home to Frankfurt. He was planning to freeze the insects the following morning. The truck I was driving in was new, so I hadn't got a chance to put a wrap on it yet. So there was no clear signage as to what might be in the vehicle. Sometime between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. on Friday, Shump said someone stole the vacuum out of the bed of the truck. The hornets inside are large and can be aggressive. It's like one of those glitter bombs for the people that steal packages off a porch. Open it up. Ah, hornets! Well, that's hilarious. GPS tagging is not patentable. No new tech, just in them. No worries. But oh, good. Okay. All right. I've joked for years that I don't need to lock my vehicle, and generally the bees and wasps afford a safety net, he said. Of all the vacuums in all the trucks they could have grabbed, I think they grabbed the wrong one. No shit. To the poor soul who lifted the shop vac out of the back of my truck, I wanted to give you a heads up. The vacuum was there because it was filled with European hornet queens, the largest social stinging insects in the eastern United States. I performed the removal of the nest late yesterday afternoon. Those girls should be full of life and extra spicy. I anxiously await your unboxing video. That's great. Oh, shit. Okay. Moving on to this guy that's been mistaken for 3 other people. UK officials seeking to deport an asylum seeker mistook him for 3 other men. The Home Office is facing fresh charges of incompetence after officials seeking to deport an Indian asylum seeker from the UK managed to confuse him in its paperwork with at least 3 other refugees. Ranjit Singh, 38, who has a large tattoo of his wife on his back, was surprised to have been variously recorded as being the dependent of a student, an applicant for British citizenship, a successful candidate for temporary leave to remain, and the partner of a man he had never met. The erroneous claims about his status and past life were made it into a Home Office letter refusing his application for permanent leave to remain, and in documents provided to him following the subject of an access request that had compelled the Home Office to disclose relevant information. It is understood that the Home Office officials had confused him with 3 other men of the same name while processing his claim to stay in the UK. An appeal tribunal due to hear his asylum case has been adjourned while the lawyers wait on new and correct government paperwork. Naga Kandia, the MTC solicitors, said that the Home Office had also managed to breach data protection laws by handing over private information about the other Singhs to his client in their correspondence. Our client's case is an example of an inexperienced caseworker who has copied and pasted someone else's details without even checking the case. They had a year to process the application and did a 5-minute job, which resulted in a breach of the GDPR. Singh, a Sikh from a Punjab village in India, first claimed asylum when he arrived in the UK in 2007. That was rejected, but he claims to have not been notified at the time. He lives with his wife in Hayes in Western London. He applied for leave to remain in the UK in 2021 as he wished to register his Catholic marriage to her. Singh's application to stay in the UK on human rights grounds was subsequently rejected, but the letter of refusal contained numerous errors. Okay, who's dropping sponsorships again? Thank you. Oh, or was that? I don't know. Oh, okay. YouTube chat is not caught up yet. When it does, it will be interesting. Okay. Where we go. His wife, a kitchen manager, said her husband had been unable to earn money due to his lack of status and had become mentally down after 2 years of waiting for a decision, only for it to contain so many mistakes about his position. When our lawyer said that one reason his application had been rejected is that he was already married with a gay guy, we were surprised. Then we find out all the other things he was supposed to have done. He gets mad, to be honest. He is so upset. It's not right. This is about people's lives. We all hate Trudeau. We can't stand him. Most punchable face in North America. The Home Office says it has a large backlog of asylum cases to process. More than 175,000 asylum seekers are waiting for an initial decision on their application. A record high, according to the Home Office statistics released last month. The Refugee Council said that there were delays and they were having a devastating impact on the people they work with, whose lives are put on hold indefinitely while they anxiously wait to hear whether they will be allowed to stay in the UK. Of asylum appeals resolved in 2022, more than half, 51%, were allowed, rising from 29% in 2010. Home Office spokesperson said they do not routinely comment on individual cases. Well, no, you're not supposed to comment on individual cases, but when you make such a massive fuck up, I kind of expect you to at least say something, you know? You stab 'em, I'll slab 'em. Attorney's billboard pushes for new coroner's office. A man hoping a billboard that reads "You stab 'em, I'll slab 'em" will catch voters' attention as he pushes to become the Catawba County coroner. That billboard is along one of the busiest roads in Newton Business 321. But as Channel 9's Dave Faraday learned, the county isn't even looking for a coroner. Attorney Shell Peirce showed that the general statute set out by the state, he says, allows for each county to have a coroner. But in 2020, the General Assembly voted overwhelmingly to abolish the office of the coroner in the 4 remaining counties that still had one. With the rising number of fatalities, drug overdoses, criminal activity, things like that, it doesn't make sense that a coroner should not exist. I wholeheartedly agree with that. A spokesperson for the county said that there were currently 7 on-call medical examiners in the county. A medical examiner is a physician, often a pathologist, while a coroner is an elected official who may or may not have medical training. Interesting. But some say the billboard messaging is misleading since the coroner isn't on the ballot. It's not right, you can't put stuff like that up, but today's society, yes, they'll do it. Others say stab 'em and slab 'em goes too far. A lot of folks ride up and down here with their kids. What are the kids going to think about it? Won't somebody please think of the children? Pierce said he received hundreds of phone calls since putting the billboard up. We just wanted to see what would happen, and we're actually going to have to create a new hotline because the phones here at the office are completely overloaded. Pierce said he plans on speaking in front of the county commissioners next month in hopes of reinstating the position. North Carolina has a backlog of autopsies after a Channel 9 investigation. State lawmakers earmarked money for regional autopsy centers in Union County. It would serve several counties in the area so that they don't have to rely on the medical examiner in Raleigh. At this point, we've not heard of any other efforts to reinstate the coroner position. So there you go. All right, where are we? Quickly running out of time. Do I want to talk about the Trump stuff? I kind of feel like I have to talk about it. No, you know, I will save the Trump stuff for a special edition. That is what I will do. A Houston Jack in the Box employee has shot at customers from Florida over missing curly fries, according to a lawsuit. A just-released video shows a Jack in the Box employee shooting at a drive-thru customer reportedly during an argument over missing curly fries. According to a lawsuit filed by Houston attorney Randall Callanan, Anthony Ramos and his family ordered a combo meal at the restaurant near Bush Intercontinental Airport, in March 2021. The Florida resident who was in Houston for work after the February freeze, he picked up his pregnant wife and daughter, who was 6 at the time, from the airport and stopped at a drive-thru for food. 15 minutes later, they were speeding off in an attempt to avoid gunfire. In the newly released video, employee Alania Fantasia Ford appears agitated with Ramos. He is in the driver's seat, his wife sitting in the passenger seat, and the daughter in the back seat. They paid $12.99 for a meal combo, the lawsuit states, but did not get the curly fries they ordered, prompting an argument. Not even halfway through the dispute, the video shows Ford readying a gun. Minutes later, with another employee at the window, she throws ice and condiments before firing twice at the family. Jack in the Box needs to do a background check on employees so as not to expose customers to someone who would attempt to kill them, they said in a press conference. The family filed the lawsuit in 2022. They recently received the video after a discovery request. The lawsuit claims that Jack in the Box was negligent for not keeping customers safe. Exactly. Amateur Iconoclast, thank you for the super chat. Houston woman, shall we say, versus Florida man. A 24-hour stream for Trump might not be enough time. It might be... when did I do the last 24-hour stream? It was, June or July for Motsuri. I may or may not do one in November or December. We'll see how that pans out. But they do take a little bit of organization, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't care about that. Sorry, I got a whole bunch of notifications popping up. So I'm just double checking there's nothing important to be included with the news. The original answer, in its original answer, Jack in the Box denied all allegations, stated the restaurant has no control over and is not legally responsible for third parties like Ford. I'm sorry, what? You're saying that you have no responsibility for your employee whilst they are engaged in their employment in your place of business? Good luck with that. A lawyer for the Jack in the Box did not immediately respond to ABC 13's request for comment. Ford is also named in the lawsuit, which seeks at least $250,000 in damages. Depending on how many shots were fired and what... Yeah, look, $250,000 might be low, might be high, we don't know. Speaking of notifications, thanks YouTube, I didn't get one for this. Yeah. Ford was initially charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but pled guilty to a lesser charge of deadly conduct. She got a sentence of 1 year deferred adjudication and completed it in June, according to court records. So she got a year of probation and was able to keep her nose clean, apparently. The lawyer will discuss the video and lawsuit during a news conference scheduled to be held outside the restaurant on Tuesday. The family is expected to attend. Where's this video footage?
Shot at over an argument about curly fries. That's the allegation in a lawsuit filed against Jack in the Box and...
Hang on. Okay, Houston ma'am versus Florida man. Fair enough. It's a black woman shooting a white guy. Now let's reverse the races. That's a good point, Jason.
An employee. The shooting happened in 2021. The attorney for the...
Damn it, I shouldn't have paused.
Over an argument about curly fries. That's the allegation in a lawsuit filed against Jack in the Box and an employee. The shooting happened in 2021. The attorney for the family who was just shot at just released a shocking video. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live at the restaurant where it all happened, Jessica.
Eric, attorney Randall Callanan has scheduled a news conference for tomorrow morning here at the Jack in the Box near Bush Airport. He tells me he recently got this video through a discovery request. The employee has already served her sentence, but in a lawsuit filed by that family from Florida, they say they want to still hold the restaurant accountable.
The order, a number 2 with curly fries after a mother and her 6-year-old daughter landed in Houston.
Yeah.
The father picked them up, placed the order at this Jack in the Box on JFK Boulevard near Bush Airport. 15 minutes later, they were speeding out of the drive-thru, trying to avoid gunfire. In just released video, employee Alania Ford seems agitated with customer Anthony Ramos. He is in the driver's seat, according to a lawsuit. His pregnant wife is in the passenger seat, and their 6-year-old daughter is in the back. They paid $12.99 for a combo, the lawsuit says, but didn't get the curly fries they ordered. Not even halfway into the dispute, the video shows Ford ready a gun. Minutes later, and with another employee, she throws ice and condiments through the window before firing at least twice at the family. Ford was initially charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of deadly conduct, got 1 year deferred adjudication, and completed it, court records show, in June. The family from Florida filed the lawsuit after the guilty plea, claiming Jack in the Box was negligent for not keeping customers safe from potentially dangerous employees. In its original answer, Jack in the Box denied all allegations, writing they have no control over or legal responsibility for a third party like Ford.
Okay, so let's break this down, because I have to give some sort of legal commentary on this instead of just laughing my ass off. So basically, they're suing Jack in the Box for vicarious liability of their employee for actions taken during the course of their employment. Does the fact that she pulled a gun during the middle of her shift absolve them, or is there a break in the chain of causality to show that that goes above and beyond what she was expected to do during her employment? No, I do not believe she's a third party in this instance. I personally believe that, yes, vicarious liability applies in this circumstance. She was on shift, she was on the premises, and she was in the moment. So shooting isn't part of their training? Maybe. We don't know. She woke up and chose violence. In this case, I think she obviously extended beyond the bounds of what her expected responsibilities and obligations were, but she is well and truly engaging in activities during her employment. I would fully expect that this case will be successful. If I was Jack in the Box, I would be settling this quickly. Worked many drive-thrus many moons ago. Never had a gun. Sometimes it would have been helpful, lol. She wasn't supposed to be armed per policy, most likely. Quite possibly. And that may well be what they hang their hats on. Point is, if this goes before a jury, I can fully expect that they'll make an award. So there we go. All right. There's a few here because I'm quickly running out of time, so I'm going to. Nope, we can skip over that one, leave that one. Apparently the US government is suing Amazon. I will save that one as well. Where's the one about the YouTuber that's... Okay. A YouTube prankster says he had no idea he was scaring a man who shot him. A YouTube prankster who was shot at by one of his targets told jurors on Tuesday he had no inkling that he had scared or angered the man who fired on him as the prank was recorded. Tanner Cook, whose Classified Goons channel on YouTube has more than 55,000 subscribers. Are you serious? Some dude's doing stupid shit like that, getting shot at, and he's got 55,000 subs. How long's the channel been up? Okay, now I'm curious. Hang on. Classified Goons. Classified Goons. How did they have 38 videos? 39 videos? One of which is, I got shot. Asking strangers to watch their tone. Angry guy charges cameraman. Clowns versus cops. All that for 35 cents worth of fries? Yeah. Pregnant woman, 6-year-old, jury would be generous. Yeah. Where are we? He testified nonchalantly about about the shooting at the start of the trial of 31-year-old Alan Colley, who's charged with aggravated malicious wounding and 2 firearms counts. The April 2 shooting at the food court in Dulles Town Center, about 45 minutes west of Washington, D.C., set off panic as shoppers fled what they feared to be a mass shooting. Jurors also saw video of the shooting recorded by his associates. The two interacted for less than 30 seconds. Video shows Cook approaching Colley, a DoorDash driver, as he picked up an order. The 6'5" Cook looms over Colley while holding a cell phone about 6 inches from his face. The phone broadcasts the phrase, "Hey dips, quit thinking about my twinkle" multiple times through a Google Translator app. On the video, Colley says stop 3 different times and tries to back away from Cook, who continues to advance. He tries to knock the phone away from his face before pulling out a gun and shooting him in the lower left chest. Cook, 21, testified on Tuesday that he tries to confuse targets of his pranks for the amusement of his online audience. He said he doesn't seek to elicit fear or anger, but acknowledged his targets often react that way. Pretty sure you'd get that many subs if you boxed a roo. I'll be right. Asked why he didn't stop the prank despite Colley's repeated requests, Cook said he almost did, but not because he sensed fear or anger from Colley. He said Colley simply wasn't exhibiting the type of reaction Cook was looking for. There was no reaction. So you push him harder? You are over 6 foot tall. You are looking down at a man, getting in his face, and you are not assuming that he is going to feel a little bit intimidated or threatened or endangered? Like, what the hell, dude? Seriously? It was stupid, it was silly, you may even think it was offensive, said prosecutor Pamela Jones, but that's all it was, a cell phone in the ear that got Tanner shot. The prosecutor said that? Wow, way to shoot yourself in the foot, lady. Defense attorney Tabitha Blake said her client didn't have the benefit of knowing he was a prank victim when he was confronted with Cook's confusing behavior. She said the prosecution's account of the incident diminishes how unsettling they were to Mr. Alan Coley at the time that they occurred. Oh, I got it backwards. Of course the prosecutor's saying that. Duh. Dumbass. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yep. Like, what the hell? I'd have popped him, says Boots. If you say it's just a prank, bro, they can't shoot you, apparently. She said the prosecution's account of the incident diminishes how unsettling they were. In the video before the encounter, Cole Cook and his friends can be heard workshopping the phrase that they want to play on the phone. One of the friends urges that it be short, weird, and awkward. Cook's classified goons channel is replete with resplendent stunts, like pretending to vomit on Uber drivers and following unsuspecting customers through department stores. At a preliminary hearing, the sheriff's deputies testified that they were well aware of Cook and have received calls about previous stunts. Cook acknowledged during cross-examination on Tuesday that mall security had tossed him out the day prior, as he had tried to record pranks that he was trying to avoid security the day that he was trying to avoid security the day that he targeted the defendant. Jury selection took an entire day on Monday, largely because of the publicity of the case. At least one juror said during the selection process she herself had been a victim of one of Cook's videos. Cook said he continues to make the videos to earn $2,000 to $3,000 a month. His subscriber base increased from 39,000 before the shooting to 55,000 after. So apparently all it takes for me to hit 50k is to get shot in the chest. Fuck around and find out, bro. Yeah. If I feel like you're threatening my life, that is my truth. Pop, pop. Nice, Flux. Let's see if we can see the footage.
For the first time, we're hearing exactly how a social media prank led to a shooting inside Dulles Town Center last month.
Yeah, a 21-year-old named Tanner Cook was shot making what he called a prank video for his TikTok and YouTube channels.
Attorneys for the suspect, Alan Coley, say he felt threatened and confused and acted in self-defense. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder has the developments now from court.
Witnesses recorded cell phone video of the moment Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies kicked away the gun Alan Coley is accused of using to shoot Tanner Cook, a self-described YouTube prankster. Though today, in Coley's preliminary hearing on 3 felony charges, we learned what happened before Cook was shot. Cook says he makes videos for social media to entertain viewers by pranking people and making them feel confused or frustrated. While making one of these videos in Dulles Town Center back on April 2nd, Cook says he and his 2 cameramen went up to Coley, stuck a cell phone in his face, and played an audio recording of a weird and profane sentence. Cook says Coley batted
Thank you for the offer, AP. I will probably skip it this time around.
To stop. Cook, though, says he and his cameramen followed Coley for more than 30 feet and did it again. And right after that is when Cook says he was shot. Today's court appearance was a preliminary hearing, and it's important to point out that the Commonwealth...
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit further, because there's some further details in there than what were actually in the article. They got up in it, a 6-foot-plus man gets all up in the face of this guy. The guy walks away. The 6-foot guy walks again, 30 feet back, and gets into this guy's face again. I kind of feel like this is intimidating behavior. Dude looks like a douche, clean shoot.
Commonwealth's burden of proof in any preliminary hearing is exceptionally low. They are looking to prove probable cause for the case to move forward. Today, the judge said Cook was, quote, acting in an obnoxious manner. But at this stage, the judge did not feel the shooting was justified, so the case will now head before a grand jury.
Today in court, one of the Loudoun County deputies who responded to Dulles Town Center back on April 2nd said that he was the first one to get to Tanner Cook right after he was shot. He rendered first aid. He said as he was walking up to Cook, he recognized him from his YouTube videos, saying that Cook's prank videos have a bit of a reputation in the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, and that those videos have had a couple of run-ins with law enforcement in the past. Reporting from Leesburg, Drew Wilder, News 4.
Okay, so there you go. Oh, all right, guys, I'm going to save the rest of it because I got to get out of here. But what an absolute douche. And this is the problem with the whole social media stuff. If you are out there doing stupid shit in order to get viral videos, there's a good chance you're going to wind up with a bullet in your ass. Like, why? Don't be stupid about it. Like, seriously. Regional office equals other family, lol, joke. I'm 35 minutes behind. No worries, Vareth. No, I actually have to go and see clients, so I need to get on the road. So, as always, people, please remember, you are not a piece of shit. You do have value and you very much contribute to society, and I'd very much appreciate it if you double check whether or not you have hit that like button, double check whether or not you are subscribed. Hopefully I've brought you enough entertainment, enjoyment, or at least time wasting to have valued that. In any case, I will catch you all on the flip side. I've really fucked that up. I'll catch you all on the flip side, guys. Stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I will see you later. Where is it? Oh, I have lost it. There it is.
This shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.